Welcome to the Ladies' Room, where politics meets women's issues, and we're not here to sugarcoat anything. We're diving headfirst into the stories that matter to women, from Washington power plays to battles over our basic rights. It's bold, it's unapologetic, and yeah, it's going to get messy. Because let's face it, this fight for equality always is. Grab a drink, pull up a chair, and let's get into it. This is the Ladies' Room.
No. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, everybody.
And if I could figure out the lighting to make it so it doesn't look like I have a hole in my throat, that would be wonderful. Welcome to the Ladies' Room. I'm Allison.
I'm Disco Deidre.
And Leah has stuff to do, so she will not be with us tonight, but hopefully she'll drop in the chat and we'll say hello.
Hopefully. Yeah. Kind of like, I feel like I haven't been here in forever. I feel like I haven't been here forever either. And I'm like, oh. So.
Well, speaking about scheduling, next week, okay, everyone sit down. Next week is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So when did that happen?
I know. I was like, oh, that puts me really close to the wedding. And I'm like,
yeah.
I did this.
But anyway, so we are not going to be on next week for Thanksgiving. So, I might produce something, beforehand, but as for the live, see, isn't that crazy? It looks like I totally have a...
Yeah, it's weird how that works, because when I do a screen, it always misses that one. That one still shows.
Well, anyway, so our show schedule, we will be off next week for Thanksgiving. Unless something really happens, then I might pop on and be like, okay, folks, we need to have a conversation. So that's that. So today we're going to focus on some of the cabinet picks and what it means for the ladies. Not necessarily you individually, but really in general, what it's gonna entail. And as you know, I'm sure you've heard already all of the commentators. I don't really consider myself a commentator. God, I hate this. I hate that it looks like I have a hole in me. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't get logged into my YouTube over here, and I can't chat through here, so I'm just like, everything's not working. But anyways,
yeah, it wouldn't be the ladies' room without a technical issue or two. So a lot of people have already commented on it, but I kind of wanted to focus on some of the things that a lot of people aren't talking about, especially when it comes to women, women's health, and just women in society. And I'm sounding very academic, but I promise, you know me, I'm not going to be academic at all.
Yeah, we're not going to sugarcoat it. Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
But hey, Cap. Hey, Skip.
Hey, everybody. Oh, hey, guys.
Hi, Sheila.
I'm so glad.
So, in particular, one thing I noticed with his appointments is that there's very few women that he's nominated for. All of them are very important, but the really important ones, not a single female. Mm-mm. And what's been really pissing me off is the ones that he has nominated, and these three lovely, not so lovely ladies.
I'm sorry.
He's basically he's either setting them up to fail, because there's no way they're qualified for either one of them are qualified for any of those positions. And when they fail, and they will, if God forbid they somehow get confirmed into those positions, what's gonna really boil down to is that they're women. They're gonna make us look bad.
Yeah,
incompetent. they should have never been nominated in the first place, but they're going to make us look like fools. And it doesn't even matter if you're not in politics or government or policy or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just going to make us look like fools, that we're incompetent and we have no place in government. And part of me thinks it's intentional. Part of me thinks that there's no way they think that like that. That's a little bit too complicated thought processes. But
I've been, hey, like I said.
Oh, okay. The new AG is Pam Bondi.
Bondi,
okay.
yeah.
I stand corrected. I don't know if she's qualified. I've never heard of her.
But
I'm gonna guess she's not.
Like, I think she helped him on the Epstein stuff. I don't know. But also, I mean, come on. The Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon.
Well, oh yeah, I forgot about her.
What a crapping joke. Yeah, my daughter and her friend teacher called me, and we had FaceTime over that. They were very entertained by me, but they were very like, what in the world? And I'm like, yeah, I know she's a wrestler. What the hell? Yeah.
Well, with like, I mean, she is not meant to succeed. She's meant to just like close up shop. And what I would like to do is, you know, I did not compile these, so I cannot take credit for them. But here we go. I wanted to quickly show some of these. BuzzFeed has been compiling and updating this list of Fuck Around and Find Out MAGA edition. And it's like all the, like, my brother voted for Trump and now he's finding out what it's going to be like. So in case you can't read it or you're just listening, this is a Reddit thread and it goes, I'm dense. What happened to the Department of Education? Nothing, but its only purpose is to help fund schools and give them advice. Education is a power reserved to the states. Me too. I voted for Trump, obviously, and agree mostly with everything, but I keep seeing stuff about this and getting a little nervous as I have a child with an IEP. IEP is an individualized education plan. If your kid has special needs,
get special services. Yes.
Yeah, and they have to give funding to accommodate the child. In case you don't have kids and don't know what that is. It continues, I need someone who is smart on this topic to reassure me this will be okay without fear-mongering stuff I keep seeing. And then somebody comments, it'd be left to the states to manage and fund like abortion. So move to a state like California if your state doesn't offer education service. I'm sorry, it's bad grammar, so I'm struggling. But so I have several of them. I will treat you all to some little, not Easter eggs, but I guess they're Easter eggs throughout of Fuck Around and Find Out MAGA edition.
I think my husband's messing with me right now because my lights keep changing. Because he can
do you have one of those light bulbs?
Yes, and I'm like, what is going on? And it's like, stuff is going like disco over here, and I'm like, what is going on? I know he did that just to.
Oh yeah, no, we have one of those that you can control with your phone and stuff.
He's got a motion now. We got one that he put in the bathroom, so when you walk in, there's a motion sensor and the light turns on. I'm like, crap. Will you stop?
Here's another good thread of Fuck Around and Find Out MAGA edition. My conservative cousin just found out he has nowhere to go for Thanksgiving. We've heard him word for word say he doesn't believe women should have property, but was still expecting women in his family to let him eat at their property. People are learning that they don't want to their families don't want to be around them.
They don't.
And
for good, I say for good reason. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, I had a child
I'm just like, these people, I'm just like, you do not get it. These people, I don't know, what do you not understand? Even if they put it back to the states, you know how bad it would be?
Yeah, and like with the first one I showed you where I don't want that fear-mongering stuff. Well, I don't know how you can read it any other way without getting afraid, because it's scary that your kid will not be given services and may not be able to go to public school anymore because your state can't afford it, or they're going to fuck around and find out with the education system.
And then they may stop giving them services like I haven't done for Daily yet, but people who rely on maybe Social Security, it can apply for Social Security and benefits. We don't know about that either, because they'll get rid of, I'm like, I mean,
we have this
people, yeah, it's scary. I'm sorry, it is scary.
This example comes from X, Twitter, whatever the fuck post. Women in my mom's group approved of abortion ban, grew a human with her POS husband. Husband now left. She voted for Trump because he's trad. Now she is now complaining Trump might take away her Social Security because she didn't think it applied to her, only immigrants. I want off this planet. Hashtag, oh no consequences. So, it's not going to apply to me. Derp.
There were so many people that didn't read shit. Right?
Yeah. So, what I also wanted to touch on was how women in particular are going to be particularly affected, not just because we have these twat waffles that are going to just make us look bad. It's true. Like, we're going to go back 10 years just on people thinking women are incompetent, seeing these women fail at their jobs because they're not qualified to be having them. And then when, God forbid, Tulsi Gabbard gets confirmed and she gets a bunch of intelligence community people who are out around the world in the field killed, people are going to not just blame her, they're going to blame Democrats for not stopping it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to say women can't run agencies like that because she couldn't, so therefore no woman can. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're doing, I don't think Trump's saying, how can I screw women over?
No, he's just...
I don't think, because that's way too much thinking. He also has a female chief of staff. I didn't really put her as a... first of all, she is qualified for that job. But she stays in the background, in the behind the scenes type thing. So, I'm not going to really rag on her too much. Cap, yeah, I agree with you, but at the same time, it doesn't matter.
Because I've heard men say, women, even about this with Kamala, women can't lead a country like America because other countries won't respect us because there's other places.
But how many Western countries have elected?
Because there's other countries that don't respect women,
state.
So therefore they won't respect us. What?
I mean, England had a female head of state 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Before it was cool.
Germany, was it Theresa May?
Germany, Angela Merkel. I mean, she's very well respected.
Yeah.
Maybe Trump didn't like her, but
and I think Mexico has a new female president. So let's go.
Italy has a female president, and she's alt-right. So, yeah, we're Amy, you're exactly right. We're one of the only Western industrialized countries that's never had. New Zealand, Australia.
Yep.
Gosh, even Afghanistan had a female prime minister at one point. Benazir Bhutto, before the what's that terrorist group took over. She was assassinated, obviously, but even they had a female prime minister. Afghanistan. Yep. So how is this
I'm like, oh my God.
I'm here. I'm just gonna turn on the light.
I'm sorry. I'm like, crap. Oh hi, everybody. It's just me. I hope everybody's doing okay tonight.
I'm hoping
Okay.
that, oh, I think that might be better. I don't have a hole in my chest anymore. It was bothering me. It may not have bothered anybody, but it bothered
Got
me.
back just in time. Just kidding.
Hey, girl. So anyway, we got off on a tangent, but,
Yeah, sorry.
or I did. That was my
It's
fault.
okay.
But, like, what's particularly harmful is like, yeah, it's a big joke. Our RFK Jr. is head of, God damn it, the health department.
Yeah, that's
But like, it's more than just vaccines, although that's like a whole other can of worms in itself. I'm sorry. I cannot be friends with anti-vaxxers. I think if you're an anti-vaxxer and watching this, sorry. The world is
Yeah.
round, vaccines work.
They
Those
do.
are two positions non-negotiable in my life. They do. Have you ever gotten measles? No.
Mm-mm. Polio?
I never
No.
got polio.
Nope.
Just
Nope.
saying. Smallpox was eradicated. Why?
That's why between me and my older brother, I didn't have to have it. My brother did, but I didn't.
Yeah, Cap, he's trying to make Dr. Oz head of Medicare, which
Yeah, that's gonna be.
that's not nearly as scary of an appointment as as RFK Jr. as HHS. He has no medical training at all. None. And so not only is it particularly bad for public health in general,
Yeah.
but women's health.
Oh.
And he said he's gonna cut all research and development. So you know what that does?
Yeah, we can,
Breakthroughs that have been made with women's cancers, breast, ovarian, uterine, that like used to be death sentences, and now it's like becoming more and more and more survivable. That goes away. You know, diseases that primarily affect mostly women, research into that, why it only seems to only affect, or not only,
HPV can affect men later on, because I've had 2 men that I know in my life that had cancer in their throat and mouth because of that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, I mean, like, and it's not just bad for health. Think about if we're not doing the research and coming up with the medical innovation, you know who will? China, Europe, anybody else but us. And some of these innovations take 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years of research figuring this stuff out. So maybe that doesn't get, because I mean,
I hope not,
Big
because
Pharma needs to make its cut. So
I mean, because contraceptives, that's what, if you're having issues a lot of times with your menstrual cycle or whatever, they will put you on the pill for that reason, if you're, for things. And you don't use it just for birth control.
hormone replacement therapy isn't just for trans people.
No.
Like women all over the country take it daily for hormone replacement.
Mm-hmm.
When you go through menopause. Like
if you're lucky, I don't get to, because I have high risk of breast cancer. So there's that. I can't. But anyway, still, people should be able to have that option.
Yeah, you should have that option and make it, not have it ripped completely away from you. Like and to have someone who isn't, has no medical background, none, not even like a chiropractor or a dentist. Like, not saying that those professions aren't valid in their own. I'm talking like health and human services is meant for infectious disease, research into cancers. Like if you're a dentist, chances are you're likely not researching in infectious diseases that that don't only pertain to the mouth or that kind of. That's what I didn't mean to. I hope there are no dentists out there, because I know it gets sensitive, because some people say a dentist isn't a real doctor. No, they're a legit doctor. They do a lot, like stuff. Yeah. But anyway, now that I'm done sticking my foot in my mouth, but
still, it's crazy.
They have medical training, is what I'm getting at. They have medical training, or even like a Chinese medicine or a witch doctor, or like something that he like. I just I can't even, and it just makes me really, it makes me really nervous for my daughter. It really does.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
and
mine
I
too.
have this conversation, we series of conversations. I call them, it's time for awkward
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah. Fun
My daughter was
time.
like, no, mom, God, stop. And I was like, no, because I don't know what's going to happen in the
No,
future. So
dude,
here's some things you need to know.
I was very open with my daughter. I'm like, here's how it, because
My parents let the schools teach me because that's what they did when I was a kid.
I'm like,
And
how awful is that? And because I had to take her very young to the guy because she just started bleeding and then she didn't stop for over a month, and the pediatricians wouldn't see her.
yeah,
She wasn't even in
I can
12.
imagine.
She wasn't
Yeah.
even 12 yet. She was still 11. And I was like, so they had to put her on birth control to get it to stop that and all that at that young of an age. And I'm like, I can't imagine if you cannot have access to something like that. If we needed it, are we just going to let them bleed to death?
Pretty much is what they're oh, and somebody posted it in Tony's Discord, but the Georgia, I forgot the name of the organization. It's basically a committee that looks into maternity deaths, both for mother and baby. The entire committee was
Yeah, I saw that
fired
a little earlier.
because I guess somebody leaked something to ProPublica, and so they couldn't narrow who did it, so they're just going to fire everybody. But ProPublica was like the family of the victim, because I guess we are not, the public isn't supposed to know that one girl's death was preventable because, like we couldn't figure that out already because miscarriages used to be a preventable um, ailment.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they couldn't figure it out, they're going to fire everybody. And it's a volunteer position. I think they get like a small stipend or whatever, but
I hope they sue or something. They should. If they're going to fire all of them, I mean, I don't know if it can, because he's changing my lights again. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know what? I can't really,
You can't tell. I'm like, I'm just like, oh, please.
Like I found like with lighting, even though it looks dramatic to you on camera, it doesn't look nearly as dramatic as you think it does. Like when I turned on that light, it is like 10 times brighter in here, but it probably doesn't look all that much brighter on camera. I guess depending on what you're
because all of a sudden it just started going like disco-y and stuff. I'm like, stop! What's going on?
Oh, now it's not as pink. No,
Yeah,
that's funny.
I was like, dude, it's not disco time. So
yeah. Okay, so you know what time it is? It's time for lunch. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go over another fuck around and find out MAGA edition.
These are my favorite. They really are. They really
I'll
are.
read it for the listeners if you're not watching. Latino male Trump voter told CNN mass deportation won't extend to law-abiding workers. That wouldn't be fair. They need to make sure that they don't throw away, they don't kick out, they don't deport people that are family-oriented. Anyone got a face-eating leopard emoji? Seriously, somebody needs to invent that. Just saying. I don't know who puts them on iPhones, but they need to start.
Mm-hmm. Dude.
Yeah, so
I'm not wrong.
I think probably the scariest appointment so far is what's his face? RFK Jr. Just because
that news guy too.
Oh yeah, well that's a whole other conversation. Only because I'm talking about in general because health affects everybody.
I know.
Even dudes can get breast cancer.
Yeah.
So
but RFK, yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about that one guy, Hegseth. What is his name?
Said he had a brain worm. You gonna let that dude be in charge of stuff?
Jimmy Kimmel had a really funny skit with making fun of Mike Lindell waiting for the call to be nominated for something. So,
I have to
so
go look at that.
what's that?
I said I have to go look back at Jimmy Kimmel's thing about. You said he,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it
'Cause
was
I'm just like,
yesterday or the day before yesterday. I should have saved that. That would have been a good clip, but I probably would have we probably would have been copyright dinged or
probably.
whatever they call it. But it was really funny, and he pulls out this brain worm, like bro, you can tell that the actor isn't like it looks totally like, but it's still funny, like.
No, I'm pretty much thinking
um
you probably did too much drugs. Maybe that was part of it.
Too much dead bear meat that you probably shouldn't have eaten.
Yeah.
Who
Ew.
does that?
I mean, come
Who
on.
the and let me tell you something, okay? So most of y'all know originally from New York, and I used to drive from Long Island to all the way upstate New York, like right by the Canadian border, straight north, like 8 hours, multiple times a year at one point. And let me tell you, like I saw a lot of roadkill on the highway, a lot of roadkill. But in all my years of driving to and from um, upstate, like we're talking like 5 times a year, I'm making that drive. And then I have friends up there that I'm making the drive. And I have never, not once, ever seen a bear carcass that like close to the city, first of all. So I question where he
Oh.
actually got the bear. Like, and then why not once, no, have I ever said, hey, if I was with somebody, hey, let's go pick up that deer and let's make dinner. Like, God,
But
you don't know how long it's been. Like, you don't know.
you don't even know. If you don't know anything about how that works, you know how gross that meat would have taken. There's a whole No, these people are not. If you, I'm like,
I mean, I love venison,
roadkill.
but not off the highway. Like,
I mean, like people. It doesn't shock me if people, but still, I'm like, really, a bear, a dead
a
bear died.
bear. And then
But
he
didn't he
dumps it in
also
Central
like
Park.
cut a head off a shark or some shit
A
too?
whale. His kids
Or a
told a story
whale?
about.
What is a
Do you know
whale?
how bad that stinks? Like,
That's ugh. That
what
dude
did
was
they
on.
do with the whale
He had to
head
be
after?
smacked out of his damn mind during both those incidents.
I have
I'm,
questions
I'm
about the
like, I'm
whale.
like, do you even? Damn, damn.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a beached whale like or a large sea life that washed up on the shore. But like, I promise you that my first thought isn't gonna be, well, let's get that head.
Yeah, I'm not. No, absolutely not. But dude, I'm telling you,
Or if my significant other was with me and said, "Hey, let's go cut off its head and put it on," like over my dead body is my
like takes it
husband,
to
father.
take it to the taxidermy, and and the guy is probably like, I don't think I've ever seen a shark before or a whale head. Can you imagine? He probably put
Yeah.
it on
Ugh.
display somewhere.
And how does this not bother
It's
other like?
weird.
How does this not bother the other half of America who vote
I don't
like?
know because there are people that shoot and hunt, and then they have that crap hanging on their walls. I know. I've seen it. I've kind of lived that, But I'm like, listen, I don't need all that staring at me. I don't want any of that staring at me. Period.
Oh
At all.
yeah, no animal heads. Like that's a hard line.
Yeah, we
And
don't have
I
those at
actually
my
told
house,
my
but I know other people that do the stuff that they've, and I'm like,
when my husband and I were dating, like I had some hard line like deal breakers. An animal carcass, whether it's a floor mat or on the walls, that is a no. Nope. No, not happening. No. Or what it is. He does have a butterfly collection.
That's okay.
I love I let him have his butterfly collection.
I love it.
But okay, let me rephrase. No mammals, no reptiles.
No, my husband had, before I met him, he had a snake, and I'm like, oh, no, like, and
Godfrey,
it,
nobody thinks a bear rug. No chick thinks a bear
and
rug is cool.
it was a big one too, and that it got out of its tank. They couldn't find it, and he was still living with his mom, and his mother was freaking out because the snake got out.
Oh no.
But it had gotten into, at the time, this is how old we are. He had a water bed, so the snake had gotten down in there where it was warm.
Oh no.
I would have
No.
no way,
In a land
absolutely not.
of
I'm like, I'm
nope.
going to get rid of that thing before I came around.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not.
And I don't want to
No.
see you feed it anything. No, absolutely not. Don't want to do it.
Mm. But since, like, obviously I'm not in the market looking for a new significant other, but like if I was, I've added new criteria all because of MAGA. Keep in
Oh
mind, my
yeah,
husband and I met pre-MAGA. So like, that like if I was dating and the dude, like I see the dude has a cyber truck,
yeah.
you might as well
Absolutely
cover
not.
your F-140 in like nothing but truck nuts because
Yeah,
that's a deal breaker. You fucking douchebag. Like,
total.
I mean, all right, a Tesla, fine, fine, but that Cybertruck is a deal
Dude,
breaker.
well, somebody up nearby has one or works over here because I see it every damn day. And I'm like, that thing is so ugly. And it gets uglier, even more ugly every time I pass by it. I wish I could sue just because I have to look at it every day. It's that ugly.
Uh, I saw a Cybertruck that wasn't that like unfinished silver
Yes, and it's this.
color.
It's not. It's
It was
almost
like
like
this
a gray,
blue.
like a
Yeah, I saw
charcoal.
this one the other day. Well, this was actually
And
several
it
months
looked like
ago.
it wasn't painted. It looked like it still
Yeah,
had
most of them
primer on
don't,
it.
but it looks like it had this like awful. Like,
Yeah,
remember, I don't know if they still make these Crayola, but the Crayola bold colors that were kind of ugly for, like, if you were a kid, like, they were
yeah,
kind of a bummer to get. There's
yeah.
this blue color that was like this gray, dull blue. That was the
Cornflower
color of the
blue.
Cybertruck. And,
Yeah,
yeah, it was this flat,
yeah.
like, soulless blue.
It wasn't even blue. This
That,
is like a chart. I'm like, doesn't even look pretty. Doesn't It's
no,
ugly.
it
It
doesn't
look.
make any sense. It's
Mm-mm.
wide. It's wide
Mhm.
as, like, it
It
is
makes zero sense.
huge.
I'm like, what does this achieve? I don't think you could even put anything in there or haul anything.
I think it was a money laundering thing, to be honest. Because who the hell designs a car like
I
that?
don't know, but it's ugly.
Nobody's buying them.
It's
Nobody.
they're ugly AF. I'm sorry, they're ugly. And if
It's
I
not even
saw
like they
somebody
serve a
pull up, no
purpose.
thank you.
Like there are some ugly cars out there, but they serve a purpose. Like
Yeah.
like well, a Hummer. If you like,
Yeah.
that has a purpose. Jeeps have a purpose.
He thinks it
Like
looks like a moon car or some shit. What he thinks a moon car would probably look like
a
in
moon car.
space. That's what I say. It's kind of reminds me of that old, like when you watch like old 60s movies and they talk about space, it'd be shit designed like that. Like what would
How
they
many
think the
times
moon would
has
be?
his rockets exploded trying to bring shit to the space station?
I know.
I ain't getting in that rocket. You
No,
first, dude. Like,
no, no. But you can put yourself in there and you can go wherever you want.
you notice he's the only billionaire that didn't go in his own rocket. He's
Mm-hmm.
the only
I'm like,
one.
darn it.
Bezos did it, Branson did it, but not
Yep.
him. He was
Captain
crazy.
Kirk did it.
Mm-hmm.
But, real life, he got to go. William Shatner?
Oh yeah, oh God, bless his heart.
I know,
Like
because I'm like,
he
I'm
was
happy
so
for you.
cute.
I
Like he
know.
was so profoundly.
He
Oh,
was.
I
He
wanted
was,
to hug him.
because he was like touched, like he was like, oh, wow, And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I've listened to astronauts talk about like leaving Earth the first time and like the profoundness of how thin our atmosphere really is. Like this thin little thing of gas is like the only thing that stops like the monster sun and like shields how much shit from completely annihilating us and
Did you hear
dying of
about
sun cancer.
or did you see that they discovered a whole new galaxy? That new
Oh,
telescope that
that's
they put
not.
up not too long ago? I saw something,
Oh,
was it
that's not
yesterday?
surprising.
I was
There's
like,
like
wow,
there's
that
trillions of
crazy new
galaxies.
telescope that could see deeper and stuff that they put, not, I forget, been maybe a year. I can't remember how many years it's been, but it's pretty new. Um, and I'm like, that was amazing. It had a sun, it had like a sun and stuff. I was like, there's planets. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
I just
that
blows my
telescope.
mind because you just like, it's just,
Goodbye, space research.
yeah. Yeah, the James Webb Space Telescope. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's really cool. That they
It's
have some
cool.
really cool images. Sometimes I don't exactly know what I'm looking at,
No, but it's
but
cool. But a lot of
it's
times
still cool.
they'll describe it, and I'm like, oh, okay. But that was really a cool pic of what I was just like, man, that's insane. I don't know why, but I mean, I don't want to go to space, but it was like, that was really like,
It's mind bending.
it is
Like
because you're like,
it,
you may not be. We are
I don't
probably
think
not
I
the
could
only
handle
people.
being in space, to be honest. Like the thought of like all that
No.
space and I'm in this
Mm-mm.
tin can
Yes.
that like
There's
one little thing goes
nothing.
wrong and you know.
There's nothing. There's probably no sound, no, right? Nothing. Crazy.
Yeah,
I
that
don't want to think about it.
yeah, it's all letter math and like
I'm
letter
like,
math is math that has more letters than numbers in case anybody doesn't
I don't,
speak the
yeah,
mighty
I'm not
librarian
a mathematician
language.
like that. Ugh. But
Yeah. So
people that can, thank you.
letter math people,
Yes,
you boggle my mind.
exactly. Mine too. But it's crazy.
Sheila, ground control the Major Tom.
I
Um,
don't know. I'm sorry we got off on the whole telescope thing.
yeah, well,
But
I can segue really nicely as, goodbye research and development. And we're
yeah.
going to give, first of all, how can Elon work for the government and also be a contractor of the government? Like that is the biggest conflict of interest. Like, if a tiny micro little particle of that happened in
That could
like
be
if
it.
I had pulled some sort of tiny little ethics thing like that, um I would be fired.
Mhm.
Like I would be
Yeah.
fired. I'd probably be jailed. So um the fact that he could get away with that is just mind-boggling in itself.
I'm not going, oh my gosh. Hello. You're right, Sheila. Pute's bitch. Hello. I don't know. She just disappeared.
Sorry.
Here you are. I was like, she'll be back.
I don't know. Never mind.
Somebody's messing with my lights and somebody's messing with your computer.
Oh, there's gremlins that definitely exist in my
I'm like,
computer.
because my husband's like, I haven't touched anything because I texted him. I'm like, are you messing with the lights? He said, no.
You know what it's time for? We're gonna find another fuck around and find out.
Yay.
Yay! So this one, I don't know what it's for. Okay, so my maggot cousin who voted for Trump texts in the family group chat and is lots of laughing, crying faces. After reading the econ lecture notes, I have come to the conclusion that not only will grocery prices not in all caps drop, but the produces and other products will, all caps, get worse. It's a lot to type and I'm in public, but we'll expand upon my reasoning later. But expect no longer finding green bananas. Good luck on citrus, especially since limes and lemons are exported. Dessert, he means dessert.
Dessert.
Desert and pastry prices will skyrocket. Well, isn't it nice that you can afford desserts and pastries?
Yeah.
But like, you're just figuring this out now. Like, so you're hearing this rumor
Yeah.
like a month ago, and you think it's just the lit. Like, what makes you
Like he thought he
like
just stumbled upon something that nobody had ever thought of before. He was
his
so
econ
excited.
lecture notes? Well,
Hmm.
those lecture notes would have been good like a few weeks ago if you were concerned about the
Yeah,
prices of, and I don't know. I don't know about lemons and limes, but like
a
Florida
lot of that. Yeah.
produces a lot of citrus.
Well, I
And
know
all it
him.
takes is one bad frost and
Hmm.
it'll zap them all.
I mean, hey, I know a lot of stuff like that comes up from Mexico too.
Yeah, I was just saying that.
Yeah.
A lot of that's avocados, a lot of them come from
Hmm.
Mexico. A lot come from California, but
Yeah. And I'm like, you people don't
um
understand who's going to work. I mean, you think the prices aren't going to go up if you get rid of the people that are here that work it?
you cannot pay Americans to
Yeah,
do the work. It's backbreaking.
they're not
And it
going.
can't be automated. A lot of it cannot be automated. Like, take peaches, for example. I know a
Yeah.
lot about peaches because I went on the peach tour when I first moved here. So, with peaches, it costs a fortune to ship them because they bruise so easily.
Mhm.
And once a peach is bruised, it's done. It's gonna
Yep.
suck. Like you might as well just toss it in the like chop for sliced peaches bin or whatever. So you have to hand pick Georgia peaches. And then a lot of it can be mechanized, like, like getting all the like twigs and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff off. Um, but pecans, that can be automated because you know what they do? It's really cool. They drop a net and then they take
Mhm.
this machine and it shakes the tree and
Oh
the
yeah.
pecans come down. And I didn't know that. I thought that
Yeah.
was the
Well,
coolest thing ever.
pecan, like our
But
pecan. See, our state tree is the pecan tree here. So my grandparents had one in their yard, and we used to shell them. So yeah, they just get those big nets because there's a place not far from here that makes a lot of stuff with pecans. So it's crazy, like how they do it. And they're hard. Have you ever? Those pecans are hard to even crack.
oh yeah, they're very yeah. Um, so what you're gonna have to deal with is out of season fruit. Like
Hmm.
you're just gonna have to deal. Um,
Yeah.
that's if you don't want like if you don't want to pay the prices to have stuff imported like strawberries out of season
Yeah.
or
You won't just get to have your pick of everything. It'll just be what's in season.
I'm
What
pretty
grew
sure
that
bananas
year.
don't grow. I don't think even bananas grow here.
Yeah.
Not even in Hawaii
Yeah, I
do
don't.
they grow. I don't think they grow bananas there, but coffee, coffee is
Yep.
a big one. Coffee
Oh,
is very you know
oh,
how I know
yeah.
this? Because my husband bought me this little coffee bean plant like 15 years or not 15, 10 years ago, and it's become this massive bush. And we have to keep it in a pot because it has to be brought in during the winter.
Yeah.
One little zap of cold and they're
Yeah.
done. And it almost killed all of the
Oh,
plants
no.
that he grafted from like that tiny little thing that he bought. Coffee is mostly imported because you can't grow coffee beans in
Right.
most places in the United States. Um, yeah, it does grow in Hawaii, but even that somebody's gonna say, I bet you Maga will say, "Oh, I don't want it from that Hawaiian stuff."
Ugh.
Like thinking Hawaii's a foreign country. Stupid idiots. But I mean, Kona coffee. If you're getting pure Kona coffee, that's expensive. If you want to
Yeah.
have Kona coffee in it here, buy it here. That's very expensive. Um,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and just it's not gonna be good.
Buying roses.
Yeah.
Most long stem roses come
I'm
from
like,
Mexico, I think, or South America, but they're definitely imported because like roses can't grow all year long, like
No,
within the United States.
people, man, people just don't think or do, just try to at least get information about crap, period. Except for somebody just telling you something, like, it's just went and voted for, nothing. I'm tired. I didn't know. I'm like, everybody was screaming for months and months. Oh, it's infuriating. Sorry. It's just, you're just like, yo.
And going back to immigration, like a commentator made a really good point that he doesn't foresee like Trump actually following through with it. And the reason why here I thought he was full of shit at first too, but then he expanded on it. And the reason why is because housing all those people, like the volunteer military force of the United States that are here, like housed within the United States, there is about a little over 1 million active duty soldiers housed, not necessarily always on post, but need housing of some sort. Right. So think about, I live where
Texas just donated land for them to do a deportation center here.
But do you know how many deportation centers they'll need? And they want to, that's just like 1 million people.
It was
crazy. So imagine 11 million people.
I'm like, no, you can't. I'm like, they don't. Oh God, this. You see, people. This is what happens when people don't know history, because it gives me freaking the Holocaust vibes. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's total cringe.
I'm just like, no, like, what? These people are human beings. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. They're human beings.
They're human beings. But no,
I will not
they've made them think they're the other, just like, and it's bullshit. And it makes me mad because I'm like, how do you think America's America?
Yeah, it's infuriating.
I'm like, we're not.
So
I'm just like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's go for this one. Is one of my favorites.
Ooh. Yeah.
Speaking of immigration and ladies, my amazingly intelligent and brilliantly gorgeous girlfriend happens to be here illegally from Colombia. She arrived here legally on a valid work visa, worked hard while studying to receive her degree in industrial engineering. Then we met. Before we met, her plan after her visa ran out was to enroll in school in Florida for the sole purpose of changing the status of her visa to be able to stay legally. I live in Tennessee, though. 2 whole years later, she's still here. She has a job and a car that's insured, doesn't receive any government help funds, pays all of her own bills. Most importantly, she loves this country more than 3/4 of the folks on the left. Is she getting deported too? Using the wrong two. A respondent says, yes, your illegal Colombian girlfriend should also be deported. She overstayed a work visa, which is still illegal immigration. She should absolutely be deported, given that she has made zero effort to obtain legal immigration in this country. She is unlawfully in this country. Her education and work ethic is mute. I think he means moot, but as in irrelevant. Right. I digress. Somebody needs to learn some better grammar, but this is not the point. Or that is not the point. So,
oh boy.
Yikes.
And yeah, and Cynthia brings up that the Japanese internment camps back at, that's what And that's the same act that he said he was going to put in place. And I'm like, oh, hell. And people don't even know that. You know how many people probably didn't even know that we did that to the Japanese here? Here, you don't have rights
Probably
anymore.
the way
All of a
they're
sudden,
learning
guess
history
what? You
now.
don't have rights. You got to go here. Sorry.
And yeah, like I love how that guy thinks that his Colombian girlfriend is going to be the exception.
Yeah, because she
Like
has
she
a
worked.
good
How
work
many
ethic.
have you ever heard? Have you ever heard of an immigrant not working hard? Like I have
No,
never
I
met
haven't.
a Mexican immigrant that doesn't work hard, like
Exactly.
backbreaking labor.
But yeah, if she's here legally, they're going to probably consider, they're not going to care. And that's the thing. People are going to have, I mean, I'm not, people might lose some of their family members to, having to, it's sad. It's sad. It's sad.
It is sad.
And I'm like, my heart is already, I'm just like, y'all have no idea what y'all have just done.
Oh, this is. I don't like to be making fun of people, but these people decided not to educate themselves before they casted a vote. So, a true story. One of my employees, a former DACA recipient who became a U.S. citizen through marriage, recently shared his reasons for voting for Trump. His parents, who are undocumented, have worked hard to make a life here. Oh, why did it do that? Okay, there we go. His parents who are undocumented have worked hard to make a life here. His father in construction and his mother in medical equipment manufacturing. Despite the risks, he feels the need to protect them, especially now. His choice to support Trump was driven by concerns of inflation, which he believes made it increasingly hard for his parents to make ends meet on their wages. He wasn't aware of the mass deportation narrative, which I don't understand how you couldn't not be aware of it. That's like all he talked about.
Yeah.
Until he started getting text messages from the people saying, pack your bags. People not realizing he is actually a citizen now. He started researching it and now is utterly terrified for his two parents. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck around and find out. And I feel terrible for his parents.
Yeah.
I'm sure his parents are lovely people. But,
but that narrative that criminals and rapists and all that stuff, boy, but it's not. A lot of them aren't.
Most of them aren't.
Exactly.
Most of them are not. They can only name one of them. And like her own father was like, quit using my daughter as like, and it's the stepfather and mother that keeps using like whatever.
And I'm like, hey, when you understand when that starts happening, boy, ain't nobody gonna come here. Tourists, you can kiss your tourist shit goodbye.
Yeah, I mean,
who's gonna come here?
I mean, countries have already issued travel warnings about the United States.
I'd be like, don't come here because I don't.
And you think inflation sucks now? Wait till like political instability devalues our currency. The Saudis want to get rid of the petrodollar, which I don't really understand all the economic implications of that. But I do know that changes things a lot for us. And also makes like definitely benefits like the BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China.
Of course.
I think I forgot if there was anybody else in there, but so
then we would be fighting over that.
So unless you're a white wealthy male, you will not do well in Trump's economy.
Mm-mm.
So
that's a sad reality, but I guess people didn't learn the first damn time he was president.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I'm like,
recommend
what?
anybody really traveling
Help,
here.
SOS, what? When I woke up that morning, I'm like, well, no, this ain't a fucking time warp. Jesus, hell, excuse my language, but I was like, oh my God, it was in the dark. So I sat up and I went, and all my heard was said, I was like, oh shit, Trump on. I'm like, you know.
Yeah,
And I was like,
I
well,
really
I can't believe it. I mean, I was like, oh, what the fuck?
I really thought I really had more faith. Like, I really put too much faith in the American people. I
I did.
really thought,
I did too.
I can't believe democracy ending wasn't like a message like that. Like, how does like the possibility of dictatorship like
Yeah.
not like I don't want to live in a who the fuck was it?
Listen,
Well, price of
people will
eggs,
it's amazing to me how people
dictatorship,
will listen to
bleeding
like,
out in a parking lot,
yeah, they'll listen to all this other
dictatorship.
shit, like they're obsessed with celebrities, whatever, but they'll never look at shit that's going on like that affects them and their government. Like, all that stuff you enjoy to talk about, you won't probably be able to afford it to go see a movie.
Hmm. Yeah, very
So
true.
I'm just saying, I'm like, y'all, I mean, people screamed about 2025 forever, Project 2025.
And
And
a lot of these people are are admittedly low information voters. I'm sorry.
I'm
How
like,
can
that
we be in the
low?
digital age and you have no idea what's going on? Like when I went on a purposeful digital detox before COVID, as like I really didn't know COVID was coming until like fairly late into like the talk about it. But I
Mm.
still got notifications saying something was going on in China,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you
yeah, I did
know?
too. Mm-hmm.
So, well,
Telling you.
I gotta get going because my daughter is texting me needing a ride
Yeah,
and
gotta go.
I don't know where my husband is, so I'm gonna go have to get her.
Okay. Well, be careful and
But
be safe.
yeah, be safe, be careful, everyone. Thanks
And
for
thanks for
tuning in.
stopping by.
Share, subscribe, like, so we can catch the algorithm. I appreciate you all. And
Thank
we will have a
you.
happy Thanksgiving and
Happy
we'll see you in a couple
Thanksgiving.
weeks. Bye, friends.
Bye.